So we're just gonna give it a second real quick to get this cracking. So first I want to welcome everyone for joining today. I realize most people won't even see this live, but we'll just kind of catch this on the replay. So to be honest, I actually don't expect anyone to watch this live, to be honest. I'm just more so just doing it just to kind of try it out. Yesterday, I just on a whim decided to just go live and just talk about some stuff just on the spiritual side. The term is called extemporaneously. And that's basically coming on without any notes, no preparation, anything like that, which I'm actually terrible at, but I was willing to give it a shot yesterday. Just more so just like on the healing and deliverance side, but also wanted to talk about some stuff because I know no one would actually come on. So this is more so just kind of like a learning thing, I guess, for me. It's kind of crazy. So like I do occasionally go live on TikTok, like every now and then. So I'll get like hundreds of people watching, but the problem is they aren't followers. So they have no idea who I am or what I'm about. So they don't know what to ask. But yeah, so I want to get to a point where I would actually love to go live on Instagram, but I only have 30 followers on Instagram. So, but the crazy part about this is that I actually get way more engagement on Instagram from my stories than I actually do on YouTube with 4 times the followers. So it doesn't make any sense, but yeah, I guess Instagram is kind of where it's at, and that's where I would really like to be. So that's kind of why I've been promoting like my Instagram more, kind of being more active there. You know what I'm saying? That way I just kind of have people just have kind of more of a reason why or to actually watch me there. So yeah, that's kind of what the goal is anyways. I'm just trying to go live on Instagram because I know YouTube just ain't it. YouTube gives me no love. And yeah, so, you know, talking on that too. So if you're watching this video, either live or just on the replay, please make sure you at least like the video. If you like the video, please at least like the video and turn on the notifications. There's like this notification bell here on the side. It says, hey, you know, if you want to get the notifications, switch it to all. That way, at least you know if I go, you know, live or, you know, I post something. So right now I'm just kind of killing time to see if, or just kind of explaining all this stuff too. And anyway, so the title of this video is Power versus Authority and Spiritual Ranking. I don't know if I'll necessarily get to the spiritual ranking part of it. Some of the stuff that I'm talking about today is actually kind of, it's not stuff that you're going to hear from like your normal, like people that talk about like healing or deliverance and stuff like that. At least no one current that I know of just is talking about this kind of stuff in the way that I'm going to. And it's not anything super profound, but it is definitely useful. And if things don't make sense to you, there's a lot of things in the spiritual world that just don't make sense to me. And I know I had a lot of questions and a lot of people might too. It's like, you know, just like, you know, like I can heal someone with a certain ailment that's really terrible. And then I can try to heal someone with just like a headache and I can't do it. And it makes zero sense. So it's like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? So there's reasons to that. And today I hope to kind of shine some light on a little bit of that today too. So, and as far as like calling in and stuff, if you need to call in, there's a link here. There's a link there that you can drop, and you can actually, if you want to come on screen, you can. The engagement will actually be better if you actually do. And if you just want to just actually talk, like you can just talk to me, and I'll bring you on screen, and that'll be okay too. So, and hold on, let me get my notes here real quick, so I'm not all over the place. But yeah, yesterday would have been terrible. If I was trying to actually go live yesterday, like I said, I don't do too well with doing things on a whim. I usually need some kind of preparation or whatever. Not like I'm prepared today either, but it just is what it is. All right. So again, I don't expect anyone to actually watch this live. This is more so just to kind of try things out and just kind of maybe talk about a few things here. I'm only going to be on live for a very, very, very short time, unfortunately. But, you know, again, this is more so just kind of trial and error kind of thing. So we're just going to kind of see where this is at. All right. So today I'm just going to, and then feel free if you actually need to, if anyone does, needs to drop the link, or sorry, the link is actually in the chat to go ahead and, if you want to come on screen. So once I'm done with this, I'll check that out here, see if anyone actually needs any help. Also another thing I kind of want to address is, before I even get into this, is that people may have a problem with, like, if you go to my website, like, there's all kinds of stuff that I do. Like, you can literally pay for like any of my services. And I say pay, like, I'll have stuff on there, and people sometimes do have a problem with this because it's like, well, you're paying for prayer, paying for deliverance, you're paying to, you know, but you're not paying for those things. What you're paying for is actually paying for my time. So the reason I have a paywall up there is because if I didn't, I would never be able to help everybody. And that's the thing. That's the whole point of me having a paywall, is because it just means that I want to talk to people or engage with people who are serious about it. And I just don't have a lot of time to waste. I would love to help everybody, but I just can't. And for the most part, like, if you've actually reached out to me for stuff, I don't think I've actually charged anyone for anything. So like prayer for healing, deliverance, I mean, whatever. I mean, up to this point, I haven't actually charged anyone. I do have a paywall up there, but I have never actually taken anyone's money. That will probably change one day, and it's not that I wanted to. It's just more so just my time. And that's just kind of what I wanted to mention. It has nothing to do about you paying for a specific service. It's just more so just trying to weed out the people, see who's actually serious about it. All right, so let me go ahead and get into this real quick. Because like I said, I'm not gonna stay on long. All right, so but what I'm gonna talk about today will actually be helpful. This will actually bless someone who is in this space. I do run a supernatural channel. The things I'm going to talk about today are, you know, more on the spiritual side, relating to God. And if you haven't realized, God is a spiritual being, so it just kind of is what it is. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Just some of the kind of inner workings and stuff that, like I said, you're likely not going to hear like anywhere else, or any like these mainstream guys talk about this stuff. So just kind of want to hit a couple points on this. And like I said, this is really just kind of off the cuff. So we'll just kind of see how this goes. All right. So today I'm talking about power and authority and the difference between the two. So first off, I want to point out that power is the miraculous. It is the ability to change things like in the physical world. So let's give an example of that. Like power is like the miraculous. So like if someone needs like if someone has like a short leg, or they can't see, you know, they can't hear, something like that, power grants that ability to actually fix that here in the physical world. So power basically would attribute or equate to the miraculous. And authority is healing. And it is also the ruling. It's the basis of the kingdom of God. It is called exousia, or the judicial nature. Like commanding demons to leave is a prime example of authority and not power. So authority actually means authority to remove something like affliction, disease, demon, whatever. So like in the scripture, when the demons were cast out, there's a verse that says, you know, the demons were all cast out and they were all healed, because it's the removal. So again, power is the ability to change things in the physical world. Authority means being able to actually change things in the spiritual and the physical world. So like there was a couple different times like where authority was used biblically. Some of the examples would be like where Jesus is on the Sea of Galilee and there was a storm, and he actually commanded the storm to, to be still and the waves to calm. And that is a prime example of authority. Let me see what else. So like a lot of times too, like just us just being, normal humans and stuff, not really kind of seeing what's going on in the physical side, is we're trying to accomplish things and we're trying to force something to happen by means of power, but really it takes authority. And so we aren't getting the results that we want, like whether if it's healing, financial breakthrough, romance, career, whatever. So there's different avenues or different methods to different things that you actually are wanting. And so like there's a scripture in the Bible where it talks about the archangels, Michael and Gabriel, and they're actually literally fighting with Satan over the body of Moses. And this is an example of power because they're actually both trying to, fight. So here's the thing. God never removed Satan's power. He only removed his authority. And that's important to note. And that's just an example of, kind of how this works. So people do say, hey, you know what? Satan doesn't have any power. I'm sorry to tell you, that's all a lie. That's all a lie. Plus, if you see stuff like happening like in the world, that's a lie. So, I'm saying don't, definitely don't buy into all that. You've just been taught all these things to appease people. But I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm just going to tell you things. And that's okay. You don't necessarily have to agree with me on everything, and it's all good. I already know it kind of is what it is. But so here's the thing about power and authority. Here's the very, very interesting thing about power and authority, which a lot of, and this kind of incorporates too with like spiritual ranking. And this is also, kind of the tying in the two with power, authority, and spiritual ranking. What you overcome, you have authority over. So whatever you triumph, you now have the ability and grace to actually deal with. Like, it's just like if you want muscles, right? Like you need to work out, right? So, but that's just in the natural. And so some people are born with great genetics, right? And then they just actually naturally have muscles. But in the spiritual, it's actually called grace. Like you may have noticed that there's people that are gifted in certain things, right? Like there's people who can prophesy, that are just kind of born with this grace, and or people that have like a gift of healing, and or there's people that that are able to heal people better than other people, and you just look at them, it's just like, man, what is that? You know what I'm saying? And that's honestly, like, it's grace. It's something that they're born with. It's something that God has actually given them. And that's actually what that is. So getting back to spiritual rank, let's just say, so the more trials and tribulations that you go through, you gain more favor and higher in the spiritual rank. Like, to give you an example, a person who beat addiction can easily cast out a person inflicted with a spirit addiction. And because they've already overcame it. And that's one example of that. You know what I mean? So just someone, and it's not to say that someone who hasn't ever had an addiction problem can't cast out a demon of someone who has an addiction spirit. It can, just due to grace, but it may take them like a half hour to do it. But the person with the spiritual rank who was addicted at one point, and they actually cast out the person who currently is addicted or inflicted with that addiction demon, he can get him out in like a minute. I mean, if even. It's just because he has the spiritual authority and rank in that area. But he may not necessarily be able to tackle other demons. You know what I'm saying? He may not necessarily be able to, he won't be able to like heal someone, you know what I'm saying? Like he won't be able to heal someone in like in the same regard someone else might be able to. Like someone who's overcome cancer or like autoimmune or something like that, they now have the spiritual rank in that area to actually go out and minister to those people. The issue is that the church largely doesn't talk about this stuff. I'm only talking about this stuff is because I know about this, and most people either don't or they're naive to it. But it's just something like, hey, you know, this person actually does have, if someone actually did beat, you know, cancer or something else, that person doesn't know that they actually have a grace and kind of like a, you know, like a step in the spiritual ranking to minister to other people and to actually help them get rid of their cancer. So it could be like diabetes, it could be whatever else that they've actually beaten or that, you know, God's allowed them to beat. And, you know, that person, if they've beaten it and they overcame it, that means they actually have the power and authority over that sickness or demon or spirit. So that's just kind of how things work in like in the spiritual realm. But like I said, that's not stuff that you typically would actually hear about. And let me just see real quick if anyone is actually, oh yeah, he would actually have to call in. So yeah, I mean, if that's something that he would want to do, yeah, so that one, I wouldn't be able to do it just like by proxy. That's something, and plus they would have to want to get rid of addiction. So that, they actually would have to want to get rid of addiction, because no matter how much we want someone to actually get better, they have to actually want to get better. And yeah, it's, you know, unfortunately, that's just kind of the way of things. This is the way of the world. You know, we have free will. If they want to keep their demons, people are able to keep their demons. And, you know, that's just the way it is. Yeah, so this is, well, actually, so kind of circling back to what I was talking about, as far as like people that have gone through like all these crazy trials and tribulations and stuff. These people who actually break free from that or able to kind of overcome that, sometimes it's weeks, sometimes it's months, sometimes it could be years of like crazy like afflictions and stuff like that. And those people that actually do overcome, they have something special about them. And that means that they're actually able to overcome, they're able to have like a story, you know, say they have a story. Now, if they actually do anything with that, then that's really up to them. But they actually do have that level up, like in the spirit, if they actually wanted to actually go out and help people. What I can tell you is that most people don't realize that. They need someone to actually tell them. Just like with the prophetic ministry, like even if you are, you know, born prophetic or whatever else, you still need some kind of guidance to actually, you know, to kind of actually perpetuate that, so to speak. So you can't just, you know, you may have these gifts of like healings or whatever else, but you need something to, you need someone to kind of guide you. You need some form of mentorship. You know what I mean? So it's not something that you can just, in order to grow, and you need to be around those kind of things. Like for example, so like for me, I've been kind of learning the prophetic over the last 6 months. And the advice that I got from multiple different people was, you know, because I asked, well, how do I get better at this? How do I, you know, hear from God better? How do I hear more clearly? Things like that. Well, you have to surround yourself with people who know the prophetic. And that's how it works. You have to have that. You have to have that company. You have to have that, like kind of that presence and stuff, because it really is an impartation for the most part about the prophetic. Because I had, well, at least I thought I had really like kind of zero prophetic and stuff. And yeah, kind of the more I've been, you know, kind of working through these things and stuff like that, or kind of surrounding myself with prophetic teachings and stuff like that, it really is true. I've noticed that, you know, my prophetic has gotten way more accurate. You know, some of my dreams are more clear, you know, things like that. I'm able to understand a little bit better. That's kind of why I talk about like dreams and stuff too, because that's actually a big part of like the prophetic side. And, you know, people think it's just kind of like woo-woo stuff, like on the dreams and whatever. But yeah, to be honest, I mean, that's definitely a channel that God uses to talk to you, and that's why I do talk about that a lot. And there's a lot of prophetic stuff in there, and you know, could be about your life. A lot of times, most of your dreams are about yourself. You know, I don't want to give a percentage, but I don't know, maybe like, I don't know, upward 80, 90% of dreams about yourself, right? About what's actually happening around you. So when you sleep, when you dream, you're kind of seeing what's kind of taking place like in the spiritual realm, if you're in tune. There's a problem if people that don't dream, it's actually it could be a demonic block. There's people that say like that they don't dream like at all. Like my ex, she didn't dream like at all. And I was just like, at first I didn't really think anything of it. And then the more I learned, I was just like, yeah, okay, that's bad. That's a bad thing. But with her, it was kind of interesting. It's funny because, you know, she would ask me sometimes, because she knows that like, if anyone knows anything about me, like I have this, I don't want to say it's a gift, but I have something where I can sense if someone's affliction is like spiritually related or caused by like a demon. So all I have to do is basically touch them, and I can tell, I can feel it. I can feel if it's a spirit or not. Like if someone just like fell down and they sprained their ankle or whatever, like I can touch them and I won't feel anything. But if it's like, if I know that there's a spirit behind it, I can just touch someone and I'll immediately feel that spirit, and I'll feel what that person's feeling down to like the T. And sometimes it'll kind of linger on me too. So it kind of sucks sometimes for me for having that gift, but it is a way for me to discern if something's actually taking place in the physical or if it's like in the spiritual. So it is pretty helpful at times too. I'm not gonna lie. But she used to always ask me, says, hey, when you're with me, do you ever feel anything? I was like, hey, to be honest with you, whenever I'm with you, I shut that crap off. So I don't, you know, whatever it is, we're just, and that's just kind of how I heard it too. Like I know of like some prophets or prophetesses that are actually married, or just people that are together. And the way that they're able to survive, like in the relationships and stuff, is that they turn it off. Like once they're in the home, hey, we're turning it off. Like I'm not seeing spiritual stuff on you. You're not seeing spiritual stuff on me, you know, and that kind of thing. Cause that would definitely like probably ruin your relationship, and your marriage may not last very long if, you know, everything was kind of spiritually based. But you can get to a point where you can kind of turn it off. And I noticed that I did have that ability to just kind of turn things off at will, or selective choosing, I guess, around the people that I'm around. Like, it's kind of like, I'm not denying it, I'm just ignoring it. So like, I knew she was afflicted with stuff, and, you know, it's, but yeah, I couldn't bring myself to actually deal with that unless she actually wanted to. Cause again, this is more so, you know, it's a free will thing, right? So this is kind of what that is. But anyways, just wanted to just mention that too. Yeah, other than that, I think I don't have anything else unless, let me see. Yeah, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, and thank you. Thank you for joining, for the people that actually were on here today. So I do really appreciate it. Again, this is more so just kind of a test thing for me to kind of see how it goes. End game is Instagram. So if you don't have that, definitely subscribe. The link should be like in the video description, stuff like that. But as I always say, yeah, definitely like the video. If you're new, you know, subscribe for more. And of course, I will catch you next time.